Welcome back to my channel. So there is a story behind why I currently have 15 pens inked for January. I did the Diamine and Colorverse advent calendars, and when I was going through those, I was watching a lot of other creators. Um, I laugh if I call myself a creator on YouTube, but I was watching some YouTube videos and people were saying, well, this ink, you might not want to put it in a precious pen. And I thought to myself, I did not have a single pen that I didn't consider precious. I think my least expensive pen at the time was my TWSBI Eco Serpentine, and I love that pen. It writes like a dream. And so I started exploring pens that wouldn't break the bank. So the first part of my currently inked and how I actually ranked these on the sheets here were pretty much in order of what I paid for them, I believe, to the best of my ability. And then I'm going to share some thoughts on the less expensive pens. So first off, shout out to the Cat Collage Club. I just love her printables. I'm in her club, and each month I get between 6 and 8 sheets of printables, and she also includes individual PNGs, so you can do cute spreads like this. In January, she had this series of little washi too. So I also use a repositionable Avery index tab because every month I do a currently inked, and then I can just refer to it really quickly in my my journal. And then I use currently inked as a good way to use a blank page, but since I didn't have a blank page, I just consolidated 3 days of journaling into one page so I could clear this up. Also, a shout out to the 2026 Hobonichi papers. I laid down a lot of ink and I didn't end up with much ghosting and all, and that actually makes me happy to see the colors. So let's start, and here we go with my exploration of pens that didn't break the bank. First one, and actually my favorite, is this Jinhao 82 in vintage coffee / fluorescent. But as I look at it, it's just a really kind of nice avocado green, brown with some flecks in it. I got this in a medium. And honestly, this is a dupe of my Sailor Pro Gear Slim, almost down to the feel in the hand. I mean, that nib is adorable too. It's two-toned and it writes great. I think it's a nice feeling pen. It does not feel cheap. And this pen was $10.59. I hate to admit that I went to Amazon. I only buy on Amazon when I can't find it from a small shop or a maker. But this pen, I love it. It writes like a dream. I've got it inked with the Colorverse Coffee Break right now. I thought that was a good match, and I'd get more of these. Frankly, it was great. The writing experience, the feel of the pen, everything. The next up is another Jinhao. This is a Jinhao Century or Jinhao 100, medium, dark blue. Both of these Jinhaos also came with cartridge converters, which was nice. This is a larger pen. Feels great in the hand. It also does not feel cheap. It has a good weight to it. I got this with a medium nib, and this one is inked with Diamine Celestial Skies, which I thought was a really nice combination there. This pen out the door was $27.53. So twice of what the Jinhao 82, but it's actually twice as big too. Writes really well. It's another medium nib. I'm very pleased with this purchase as well. Next up is my third Jinhao. This is a Jinhao 159. It's one that is a cigar-shaped pen. This one was, again, $27.53. It has a huge nib. It's got a number, what I believe is a number 8 nib, also two-toned. This one feels a little more plastic sticky and light to me. It writes just fine. I paired it with the Diamine Inkvent Fur and Fog. It writes just fine, but this one compared to these other two, this just doesn't feel as nice quality pen, but the writing experience was fine. I mean, for what it was, it's been just fine for me. Next up would be my Pilot Kakuno. I have seen a lot of videos that they say, oh, this is just such a beautiful pen. I love this pen. It does have a little roll stop. It's just, you pull it out, so I don't know, you call that a friction pen. It's okay looking. It's got a cute little smiley face on the nib, so that's a nice touch if you want your pen to be smiling at you, and who doesn't? I got this in a fine. This one did not come with a converter, so all the Jinhaos came with a converter. I had to order separately just the little Pilot Con 40 converter. I didn't ink a ton in here, but I want to be able to use other inks as much as I want. Does it write okay? Yeah, this is a fine nib. I paid $29.35 for this pen, but then I also had to buy the converter, so that was on top of that. So we're putting this at about $35 by the time I'm out. I paired it with the Colorburst Colorvent Snow Angel, which I think looks nice. It writes fine. It's not a super, a little bit scratchy nib. I'm not going to say I don't like it until I write with it a little more, I suppose. And then this one, maybe I shouldn't even have considered this a pen that didn't break the bank, because I thought, oh, they have a Sailor. This is a Sailor F-A-C-I-N-E in white. I thought, oh, maybe I'll see if I like the more inexpensive Sailors. Well, it wasn't really that inexpensive. It was $65. Again, the converter was sold separately, so by the time I got the converter, I could have had a nice TWSBI. So is that kind of buyer's remorse? I think a little bit. It is a fine feeling pen. It has a good weight to it. I got this one in a fine nib. I have it inked with, I think, my favorite ink from the Diamine Inkvent calendar, the Diamine Burr. I think it looks adorable with that. Nice writer, but like I said, for the price, I could have had a TWSBI. So I think I am showing my TWSBI bias. So that was my last one of the 5 pens that weren't going to break the bank. And of them all, this Jinhao 82 at $10.59, the adorable dupe of the Sailor Pro Gear. I'd get another one of these. I might try it actually in a fine nib too. I'm very pleased with this. This pen's great. So on with the pens that didn't break my bank, because this was a gift. This is my birthday present from my 2 sons and my new daughter-in-law. This is the Kaweco Student with a medium nib in the 1930s blues, which kind of cracks me up because it is no more blue than anything. It's a nice kind of garnet red. Writes like a dream. I got it with the medium nib. Wonderful weight to it. I have a Kaweco Sport aluminum. I like it, but this is just super comfortable in my hand. I don't think I would ever post it, but writes great. And I paired it with this Wieringal, a Kidnapped Santa Claus, which is a fun ink. It's so pretty. It's got just a little bit of shimmer. Other people show things and it comes out great, but I don't know if you can tell, but yeah, it's just a really nice garnet red ink, and I thought it went really well with this pen. And so that's my pairing. Pleased with everything. This did not come with a converter either, and I have to tell you a story. So my son Bought the pen from Jet Pens. He also got the converter. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I put the converter in. It's really a nice Kaweco converter, holds a lot of ink, and it wasn't fitting. And I thought, I took they came with a blank ink cartridge, just wasn't fitting. Well, then I remembered somebody told me they also put a full ink cartridge in the bottom here. So once I dumped that out, it fit just fine. So if you ever have a student pen, you can fit an extra converter in there if you needed to. But if you're going to put in the cartridge converter, just remember that that is back there. Fun pen, great weight. I think this is going to be a favorite, not only because my sons and my daughter-in-law got this for me for Christmas. She's a great writer. It's really fun. My next inked up is the TWSBI Eco Serpentine. This was my second TWSBI. This is a tale of when you get a pen online, you really don't get to choose. So when people were doing their unboxing of the Serpentines, they were all showing all this great marbling. Well, mine has marbling on this end only. And then the rest, it's like a nice camouflage pen. But that aside from the color, it is a really nice writer pen. I like the trim on this. I got it with a fine nib. I've got it inked up with the Wet Paint Gas Works Park. It is a really nice green ink. Has a little bit of red sheen to it. Never have any problem with it writing. Flows great. And this pen, this TWSBI Eco, I would recommend that to anybody. And then I have, when I do my pens for the month, I usually have them in one of these rickshaw bags that goes flat. This is the Atlas exclusive one. Can't recommend rickshaw bags enough. And then I also like this one. I got this from Jet Pens. This is going to be my ones that are a little more pricey, but I love them all. And so onward to page 2. This is my newest TWSBI. This is a TWSBI 580 ALR. This started with a medium nib, but I got this from PenRealm. One of the nice things from buying from PenRealm is Kirk Spear will tune and smooth every nib that comes out of his shop. And I thought, well, as long as I'm going to get it from the PenRealm, let's have him put my favorite grind currently is the Cursive Smooth Italic. So this one's nice weight on this pen. Just a little bit of a warning for people who this matters to you. It has a ribbed aluminum feeling grip section that doesn't bother me, but if you don't like your grip section not being smooth, it might bother some people. But this is a Cursive Smooth Italics in a medium piston filler. I have it filled right now with Jacques Herbin's Café des Isles. Okay. I just thought it went really well with the pen. And I just love the way a Cursive Smooth Italics has the thicker downstrokes and the thinner across. So I'm very pleased with this. It came so quick too. So shout out to Kirk Spear and PenRealm. I ordered the pen and then I got the shipping notice maybe 2 days later. And I thought, oh boy, did they not see that I wanted a special grind? And I sent a little note and I got a nice note back and said as it was ordered, and it came with a nice card in it that said what the grind was, and it was a nice experience. Next up is my Pilot Vanishing Point. I always ink this with the Diatramentis Document Black. It's got the tiny Con 40 converter on it, so I'm inking it a lot, but this is just a consistent great writer. I don't think I'd ever want to get the dupe because I hear tales of people having problems with the ink drying out. I've never had any problem with this one. The next, of course, I'm reaching from my tray at the top of my desk so you'll know the ones I write with every day. This is my Esterbrook, the Coffee Monsters Co. Esty. This is my second of 2. I have fraternal twin Coffee Monster Co. pens. This one has a journaler's nib. This is one that Gina ground for them special, and I'm very happy with this. I have this inked with one of my favorite Ferris wheel press inks. This is the lead cast letters. It just really is a nice ink. It's not really brown, it's not really gray, and it's just a nice everyday ink, and I just really like it for my journals. So my first ever fountain pen, I don't know what possessed me when I decided to dabble in fountain pens that I would have bought a Esterbrook Esty with a piston fill, but I did, so I jumped into the deep end of the pool. And this is a nice pen. It's even nicer now that I had Kirk Spear tune and smooth it. I took it to the Detroit Pen Show and I told him I wanted to love this pen and I didn't. And he tuned and smoothed it and now I do love it. So I have this inked with Esterbrook. I have it inked with Diamine Inkvent, the Smoky Tobacco. The ink has really behaved well, and I have had this in for December and January, so happy with that. Next up is one of my newest pens. This is the Leonardo, the Snowy Studio Serenity in a Memento Zero Grande 2.0. This is a beautiful pen. I did a whole unboxing video on this, so I don't need to go on and on, but this is a medium. I've used it quite a bit. I love that it has the ink window. Beautiful nib on it. This is a steel nib, and I have it inked with Sven's Ink Solutions Skogsbrunn. This is a young man who sells inks through Etsy, I do believe, but the ink has a little bit of gold in it too, and I thought that went really well with the pen. So one I did not do an unboxing on, but it was about the same time. I follow Karynalovestoplan on Instagram and YouTube, and she had a collaboration with Leonardo and Hatch at Endless Pens that I guess this is the 2.0 version, but I missed the 1.0. So this is her Winter Sunrise. I got it with the rose gold trim. I was up at midnight to be able to order right when it was available. When Karyna was discussing why she picked this color, and she was talking about sunrise and how it glistens on new snow. And I live in Michigan, and when it is super cold, the snow just sparkles in the morning when the sun comes up, and I have seen this where it looks gold and pink and red. So I really wanted the pen. I got it in a fine. This is a same as the Serenity, a Memento Zero Grande 2.0, so it's got the ink window and the piston fill. It wrote great right out of the box. I paired this with Birmingham Pen Company Prickly Pear. I thought that was a nice pairing for that one. So that's in the rotation. Another pen, which maybe or maybe not why I have this color nail polish on. This is my one and only Platinum 3776, My Favorite Things, in fine nib. It's a 14K nib. This is Misty Bloom. I had looked at this pen. I didn't get it. It was out of stock. I reached out to Atlas and they said, you know, the limited editions rarely come back in stock. So I said, well, I'll click the notification. If it comes back in stock, it was meant to be. And if not, it'll be the one that got away. Something will come out again, I know. But I just really liked the lavender color of the cap and the ends. I thought it was really pretty pen. And then one day I was looking at my phone and I got an in-stock notification and I was able to get this with the fine nib. It's a smaller pen than I think would be what I would call my favorite pen. I think I'm more comfortable with the Leonardos or the Esterbrook Estes, but this is a nice pen. It writes great. I have it paired with Robert Oster and the Atlas Stationery exclusive Vortex, which is a fun ink. And that's that pairing. And then the last pen is my one I had inked for December as well. This is my Esterbrook Bungo Box collaboration. It's the Kingfisher. Kirk Spear was at the Detroit Pen Show, and I purchased this with a broad nib, but he ground it to a cursive smooth italics. This has been a great writer since I got it, and I love the wider nib with the cursive smooth italics because look at how nice that writing comes out. So this is my currently inked. This is my January lineup, probably January and February, and so I just wanted to share.